Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome back to our Nullius playthrough. It's been a nice day of, episode of getting hydrocarbon stuff finished and ammonia going, so we're going to keep going with gases, getting gassy with it. Na 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 na. So acrylonitrile is the next thing we need, so we're going to work on that. And yeah, this whole block should probably just be deleted. I don't even know what that is anymore. Same with this one. I've more than confused myself enough for a lifetime. So acrylonitrile is propene, oxygen, and ammonia. Now I think before I move on to that, let's set up combustion for these because I am going to have issues eventually. So like propene is getting close to oh, this is pumping actually. Okay, so propene is then cracking itself into methane, ethylene, benzene. Because the butadiene is filling up along with the styrene, which takes quite a bit of time. Because the butadiene takes a lot of ethylene, and the styrene takes a lot of ethylene as well. So ethylene is the main difficulty. But we are using the propene to give us more ethylene along with the other things. So we need these to run basically only if a certain condition is met, which would be that benzene is low, right? No, because what happens if propene is low? If we use up all our propene, benzene is full and ethylene is full. So basically, if ethylene is full and propene is low, then we want to burn benzene. That's the summary. This actually is benzene, which is up here. Right? Benzene, yeah. So then this one is a very particular condition. Obviously, we want it to be overflow on benzene, and we want it to be underflow on propene. That would be the only time I want to void benzene. So propene is less than, I don't know, let's say 20,000. Then we will void this. And then the ethylene will then run. How's it going, Riot Gear? Gasatrons. Yeah, my whole last like 2 hours have been Gasatron 9000. Okay, so then this will create more propene as well. This is craziness. Okay, so we want to yeah, okay. This is all set up correctly. Now, as far as the steam, I am going to put it in a tank where I will do priority compressors later, but for now, I'm just gonna chimney it. Because I don't have priority compressors right now. So yeah, my setup is pretty crazy. Let's just review real quick. And by no means is it the most efficient or most elegant, but I think it's gonna work. Big if there. So we got water being turned into hydrogen and oxygen, normal stuff there, venting excess. And then we're just using the residual gas process so that we can build up residual gas over time to get carbon dioxide, and then we're turning that into monoxide, and then we're just cracking that into the hydrocarbons along with hydrogen. Now, if I really wanted to be efficient, I've now realized I should have used the carbon dioxide plus hydrogen to make methane process along with the process to make ethylene. But I'm not doing it that way, and I'm not turning back now. So then that creates those three main ones. And then we have the propene into methane, ethylene, benzene, and also the ethylene into propene, methane, benzene, both to be able to make more benzene, and then we have just the butadiene making down here. So it's pretty crazy. We also have an overflow on methane that turns it back into more ethylene. And then we're going to, right now, set up overflows on a couple things like methane, ethylene, and benzene, and propene. Yeah, so crazy stuff. And I don't know of any conditions I need to have on these yet, because this one is first going to get used to make more ethylene, but then if that happens to back up, because I already have 80,000 ethylene, then it's just going to burn the methane. So then I do need oxygen set up on this end of things, which I should have plenty of oxygen. We just have to connect it. It looks like it's connected here. Yeah, that's an output connection. So then we'll connect a T junction there. So we got oxygen. And then we get dioxide back from this. Is that worth recapturing? Where would I have to bus it back to? I'd have to bring it back over here. That's not the worst thing in the world. Let's just do it. So we'll connect that up. And then, yeah, we'll do that, and that, and that. And then we'll have a corner here. So this will be returning dioxide back towards where we need it, which is here. Now the real kicker is we need that to be a top-up. Oh, we already have it as a top-up. Perfect. Where did that go? Here. So then this dioxide, gosh, this is craziness. So I guess we wanted to turn a corner here and then connect up into that. No, sorry. That's wrong. There we go. Yeah, the top up is only keeping these filled. Okay. So those are 352, those are 378, so currently we have more than enough. Dioxide, we don't have enough of the Chem Plant 2s. Again, I'm not gonna worry about that at the current moment. So now these are all set up for steam. Okay. What are those little things? Oh, those are the advanced fluid handling underground pipes. So yeah, they're just underground extenders. And so advanced fluid handling lets you face a lot less pipe spaghetti, which with a mod pack like this, I'm a huge fan of. Now these have massive rates that they could get up to, so it's possible that I should separate these pipes, but I'm not going to just yet. I don't think that'll be an issue in terms of throughput. But yeah, honestly, I feel like Nullius is almost worse. I enjoy it, but more complicated than Angel's Petrochem stuff. It's possible that I'm just used to barreling things and unbarreling them sooner. Because I am starting the barreling unbarreling thing, which makes it all a lot easier. But in any case. Okay, so I've got all the combustion set up, I believe. So now we're still just essentially waiting on benzene to fill up, and then butadiene is filling up, and styrene is very slowly filling up because ethylene is low, and ethylene is low because Methane is not high. Once methane starts overflowing, then we'll have plenty of ethylene. Separate extenders for the 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so there's separate. So there's the I junctions. There's elbows, which meet at a 90-degree angle. Then there's the three-way junctions, and then there are four-way junctions. Actually, no, there's not. In the normal mod, there is. I guess Nullius has taken them out, and I never used them anyway. The four-way junctions I almost never needed. There was maybe 1 or 2 times I'd used them. And then the same thing with surface junctions. You have 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, but those also connect up to a pipe. So like these guys right here. But you can see that you can turn, so like the pipe is connecting to the right, but the underground pieces are going up and down. So highly recommend advanced fluid handling. All right, moving on to acrylonitrile. We now have all the things we need. I mean, we already had them, but propene, oxygen, and ammonia. So how much acrylonitrile am I going to need in the game is a question I don't really know the answer to, but I'm guessing 50 a second is a good place to start. You don't need a lot for plastic, and you don't need a lot for rubber. So maybe like 50-ish a second. Seems reasonable. Maybe a little more. I guess we'll see. And this is another time where I'm like, part of me almost wants to use the barreling system, but that's just such a drain on logistic spots that I don't think I will. But here we go. Acrylonitrile. 100 a second. That's far too much. We'll go for 60. All right, so we need propene, oxygen, and ammonia. Oxygen is thankfully right here already. So I'll just turn that into a T-junction. Connect all these up. Bada bing, bada boom. And then this one, let's just assume I have enough ammonia and I don't have to worry about priorities here. Connect that up, and then we need the propene. Goes to the right, and that's over here. Now, why do I need an overflow setup with 10? Why am I even doing that? That's stupid. I thought I would have a separate barreling chain was the original thought behind the 10 overflow. So I'd put this in barrels, so this is more how I want to do it. Okay, so then that comes over, extends, turns a corner, up and over. There we go, acrylonitrile. And in this case, the wastewater, are we close to our wastewater treatment? Well, not treatment, but just connection. It's over here. That's pretty far. I don't think this is going to be a huge source of wastewater, so I'm just going to dump it. And this is where the joy of safe waterfill comes in. So I can just do that. And bye-bye wastewater. And now we've got acrylonitrile. Throw that into a pumping dealie. And acrylonitrile barrel. Get that powered up. And there we have it. And we'll request like 50 barrels for this one. Sweet. I'll just let that fill up to there. So we've got acrylonitrile done. I still have other things that I want to do, like ECH. What the heck even is ECH? ECH. We need it for glycerol, epoxy, and that looks like it. But epoxy is used to make fiberglass and optical cable and pipe 3s, so we're gonna want a lot of epoxy. So we do want ECH. Now that's propene, chlorine, and caustic solution, which is pretty horribly annoying, and it even gives me brine back, which that brine, 12 brine, is enough to make about 1 sodium hydroxide and about a third, which is 14 chlorine, and 1 sodium hydroxide is enough to make plenty of caustic solution. So this is a self-supporting loop except for chlorine. This just requires a tiny bit of input chlorine, and that's it. And propene. So we'll want to set that up somewhere. Let's get a bit more logistics coverage here. So then for ECH, we also need propene, so I might as well make it here. We'll just carry on this direction. And then the brine, we actually want to electrolyze back into its pieces. The chlorine is not going to be enough. There's the propene, which attaches to here. Kinda was off by 1. Okay, 2 corners can fix that though. Or I could be smart about this and attach it that way. So then the caustic solution is the hydroxide plus water in a hydro plant. Like so. And the water is another hydro plant and a well. Would this be worth using barrels of water for? Or even barrels of caustic solution? No, because this one we want to connect up. This is kind of annoying. We can perfectly fit an outfall right there. And then a well. So then that provides back the hydroxide. The brine goes over. Okay. So then we get some excess hydrogen, which is kind of interesting. Kind of don't know what to do with that. It's just random hydrogen. I should probably barrel a certain amount. And then we want this to be an active provider. So let's make a mark of that. How do I do that? Add tag, active provider. Put that there so that we remember to replace that later. And then you're going to say only if hydrogen barrel is below a certain number, like 1,000, would you ever get rid of it that way, and then we'll just have an overflow chimney. But the chlorine, we're going to need additional chlorine brought in. In the initial caustic solution, I can just grab. So really, additional brine should be fine. That rhymes. And then we can have an overflow on caustic solution as well, right here. So really, we will just need to input some additional brine, which is not hard, from, wait, sorry, wrong plant. This kind of thing. Where is it? Why am I going crazy? Oh, is it a distillery? It's been so long since I've done seawater stuff. Yeah, there it is. Saline water to brine. So then this wants to be a top up. We'll just do that. Top up to 20 on the brine line. And then the water. I guess I should have checked if I only needed that water. Gosh, there's another ECH recipe later. This game is nuts. I'm just gonna have to barrel everything eventually and make a giant bot-based base. Bot-based base. Okay, so just for fun, if we get all this from brine, we need excess brine, and if we get that brine from this, and we get the caustic solution via this, then I actually still have more than enough water. Oh, but we need to get rid of all the sodium hydroxide. Which we'll do this way. Oh, but I can make salt now. Or sodium, I mean. Should I start making sodium here? This doesn't feel like the right place to do it. But I am just wasting sodium if I don't do this. Interesting. Because I can just electrolyze away that, and then I'll have sodium for free. Again, active provider up to a certain amount. Maybe we should do that. So we'll do like a belt with a priority left here. And then we have another electrolyzer just making sodium. Which is very interesting. And then the water, this is a top up to this, which is connected to that. Which then this is a top up as well to just 10. It's to 20. We'll flush it. I think that's gonna work. And then we need saline water, which we'll just jumpstart this real quick. Because once this gets running, we won't need to do anything. We can delete all this. Right? No, we can delete this. What am I thinking? So then an outfall to get rid of the wastewater. And then our seawater pump. Okay, that gets us our brine. Gets us our chlorine. That gets us our caustic solution. I'm pretty sure I don't need this at all. Now my chlorine, what's happening here? Oh, we got propene in the chlorine. What happened? I don't know what happened. There we go. ECH. Ready to go. So then that has too much water. Right. And this needs to just, I'm just going to flare that. And then we have sodium, which will build up. And so when that is built up, then we want to vent excess caustic solution. Oh yeah, this should not have been here. What am I doing? Hold on a moment. Oh, I never hooked that up either. So we do want an overflow on caustic. And when that overflows, I guess this can just be set to logistics, right? Yeah. So when sodium is high, I don't even know, we'll just say 2000 eventually. Then we'll get rid of extra caustic solution, just dump it in here. And I think that works. This needs to be on the other side so that I can have two inserters here. Otherwise, the extra will go to making sodium, which will hold exactly 2,000 and is just barely inside the logistics network. How perfect. How perfect. Okay, so then this is running, and they're all running. This is working. The ratios are definitely not right, but I don't give a poop. And then we'll barrel it up. And we've got ECH. Nice. I should probably set up some sort of like consistent blueprint for this. Maybe I'll make it like this. Drop, pick up. Oh, that's actually quite fast. I can just put that there, and then this one here. No, like that. This. There we go. This feels like a good blueprint. Oop, copy. That there. You are barreling. Okay. And then request a bunch of barrels. Just change that to 100. Look at that, we got our acrylonitrile. Soon we'll have all the ECH we want. Now, why did the chlorine stop? Too much water. Right. Right, so just if this is at 50, then we outfall it. Does that work? Or are things still not running? Oh, because of the way this is set up. Because that's only topping up, so there's only room for this. So I guess we top up to 40, we overflow at 30. Does that actually work? Then that'll back up on brine, hopefully. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah, there we go. But then there's still always room for the water here, because it's only topping up to 40. Alright. There we go. And then this is a place where yield seems to make sense to me. Still 28 per second. Get a little bit more out of it. Clearly I don't have enough chlorine for all this right at the moment, but that's okay. There we go, ECH barrels. Sweet. Okay. Well, we've got quite a few new things sorted, like we've got some sodium, which is not a stable source of sodium, but it's sodium nonetheless. We've got ECH, we've got acrylonitrile, we've got ammonia. So a lot of these new fancy gases and liquids to make things like epoxy we've got ready to go. So I should be able to hopefully automate fiberglass and epoxy soon. Fiberglass, well, is glass fiber and epoxy, which is hard glass, which is mostly stuff I have. The boric acid comes from volcanic gas. But epoxy is BPA, ECH, and solvent, which solvent is methanol and basics. BPA is propene, oxygen, and benzene. So we can make both those. So then I guess epoxy... So maybe methanol, solvent, BPA. So methanol in this new official area. Solvent, not solving. Epoxy, or no, BPA. All to make epoxy. So that's still on the list, but we'll get there eventually. I think I'm gonna have to call it an episode here. But this is all shaping up quite nicely. And I'm gonna keep using bots and barreling, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I think it's the direction we need to go for our sanity. If I tried to make pipe spaghetti for all this, I truly think I might go insane. So we're not gonna try to pipe spaghetti everything, we're just gonna barrel and unbarrel. And we're gonna get used to that, and we're gonna be okay with it. If there are things close by that make sense to go together, like the ammonia and compressed nitrogen, we will. You know, like I'm imagining, for example, with epoxy, BPA only goes into 2 places. So, plastic and epoxy. Solvent goes into a lot of things, it looks like. Well, a few things. So we're going to want to barrel up solvent and use it that way. ECH only really goes into epoxy and glycerol, so I might just make glycerol nearby the ECH. And I might not even need to barrel ECH, you know. I don't know. That's HCl, hydroxide. Glycerol makes explosives. Apparently more wait, doesn't glycerol use ECH? That's confusing. Oil. Didn't know we could get oil. 12 ECH makes 6 glycerol. And 6 glycerol would not make that much ECH. Oh, this looks like a way to get rid of glycerol. So maybe the oil thing... So glycerol becomes a byproduct once you start oil cracking and you actually want to get rid of it. That's very interesting. Anyway, I will call it an episode here after adding some more lights. I always forget about these. Gotta light the factory. So then this is the episode with ECH. I guess we'll call it. Alright, well, thanks for joining, guys. I hope you all have a great Thursday evening. I almost called it Tuesday. It's not Tuesday. And if you're on YouTube, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, this base is shaping up nicely, so excited to see where we go. Thanks, guys.